Hiya loves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be chatting to you all about my period go-tos and generally what makes me feel more comfortable when it's my time of the month. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get chatting. So I feel like the only way to start this is by talking about sanitary wear. Because we all need that when we're on our period. I only ever buy biodegradable and plastic free sanitary towels or sanitary wear, and the reason for that is because in a normal pack of sanitary towels that have plastic in them, there's about 36 grams of plastic, so that is the equivalent of, say, about 5 plastic bags. And if you think of every single woman in the UK alone, if they were to reach for one of those or maybe 2 of those a month for their period, that is a lot of waste and it's not biodegrading. Over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago now, I made the commitment to buying plastic-free sanitary wear, and I do feel much better about it now actually. I think because I've taken the time to look into these brands and research them properly, I now feel really happy with the products that I'm using, and I know that they are much better for the environment as well. So at the moment I'm using Kind and TOTM products, which of course stands for Time of the Month. Time of the Month offer a subscription service, so you can create like a custom order based on what you need for your period and have it delivered to your house as frequently as you need. And I think that's absolutely brilliant, especially during the pandemic, you know, with not leaving the house and not being able to leave the house. So yeah, it's a godsend. I feel like the way I approach periods now, as opposed to when I was really young, is it's almost like I'm the complete opposite. I like to be really, you know, fully stocked with all my sanitary wear, fully prepared for whatever may happen. I like to have everything sort of readily available, so I keep some in my bag. I have a designated drawer in my room where I keep everything, and I also use the delivery pouches from the candle company that I love to keep them in the downstairs toilet. So it just means that I'm never having to like rush around the house and get them and then go downstairs. It means that they're there and I can just refill that little pouch whenever I need more in there. So that's something that I would recommend to everybody really. Just, you know, make it easy for yourself. Be prepared and buy the things that you know you're gonna need. Now it goes without saying that I think every single woman going through their period needs to have joggers or leggings or just pants that are really comfortable. That goes for knickers and that goes for just pants in general. I know for me, like, I'm wearing really comfy pants right now, and it just, having that elasticated waist, having that little bit more flexibility to move and get into comfy positions is an absolute godsend. And another thing that I really like doing is lighting one of my favourite candles. As I mentioned, I get candles in little pouches from the company that I love, which is called Philosophy Candle Company. You may have heard me mention them before in some of my previous videos, but they have some of the best scents I've ever smelt, and they genuinely either uplift me or they calm me down when I'm at my most anxious. So especially in the few days before my period and potentially the first few days of it, those candles come in really, really handy. The next thing I don't actually recall using until maybe the last year or 6 months even. I recently started using like a hottie. It's got like a lavender scent and it's actually shaped like Dumbo, so it's like a little Dumbo hottie. So I would thoroughly recommend to anyone that really struggles with period pains to get a hot water bottle or a little hottie or something to just put on, you know, on your lower tummy where you really need it. He really is like an absolute saviour when you're in pain in that area, or just in any area really. That's why having a really hot bath is really good as well. But yeah, I I don't know where I've been. Like, why have I only just discovered hot water bottles? So if you're like me and you really like staying mentally and physically active, you may find that doing exercise throughout your period is really crucial to your routine. I know for me it definitely is. For about 5 or 6 days during my period week, I don't actually go running at all, and usually I would do either 2 or 3 runs in a week. So it's finding that balance between not doing too much that could really leave you in more pain than you were in before, but also moving your body so that you're shifting it. Sometimes if you're sitting down for ages, that pain isn't moving, it's just going to stay there. So getting up and walking or whatever it is can actually really help you shift the pain and just ease it a little bit. For me, my 3 go-tos are Pilates. That's definitely number 1. Number 2 is just going for a walk. Don't make it a really long one. Like, if you don't feel like it, don't go for a long walk. If you do, maybe try it and then give yourself a really good rest when you come in. Another thing is strength training. So I do a lot with weights, and I find that just giving myself like a certain amount, a small amount of reps, whether it's arm work or legs or whatever, I find that really useful, because normally that isn't overly strenuous. So all the exercise that I will do during my period week tends to be low to medium impact. And you might be listening to this going, that's too much for me, or actually that's not enough. And that's really good that you've been able to address that, because I think it's whatever you are capable of doing during that week. So for me, finding something that I can sustain my energy in for maybe 30 or 40 minutes can be really, really helpful. I think as well, if you were to spend 5 or 6 days not exercising when that is a part of your normal routine, like, you'd feel awful in your mental health. You would feel awful. So that's another reason why I do it. The next thing that I'm going to mention is kind of an obvious one, because I know for many people, we will do this every day. We will drink water, we might drink tea. I do that a lot in day-to-day life anyway, but I try to maintain that and even up that when I'm on my period. Drinking water is an absolute must, like, without doubt. I definitely have at least 6, maybe 7 glasses a day. And I do think that it can really help on your more tired days of your period. The reason why I drink more tea during my period is because I find it really soothing, and I find it very, very calming as well. So like right now, I'm drinking a pucker. Which one's this? Elderberry and echinacea with elderflower. So it's very fruity. It's just really nice. It's a really nice hot drink to have that isn't caffeinated. I don't know why, but I don't really like having caffeine when I'm on my period. So having lots of different options that are caffeine free and a bit more natural, it's the way forward for me, definitely. 2 of my favourite teas that I have during the evenings if I'm on my period are the nighttime tea from Pucker Teas. That's got like chamomile in it, and just generally it's very calming. It's got a similar effect to peppermint tea, which is my other favourite, because I generally find that not only does it settle your stomach if it's, been a bit restless or aggravated by your period pains, but they're just very, very calming. And I think at night as well, when, you might get a little bit tired, a little bit anxious, it's just the best thing. Speaking of drinks, let's talk about smoothies. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I make smoothies a lot, and I really, really enjoy having them in the morning. It just helps me start the day in a really positive mindset. And I know that I'm putting loads of good stuff into my body. So when I'm on my period, I try and do that probably more. So maybe in a week I could have like 3 or 4 smoothies on my period. I'd try and have one every day if I could, because it just sets me up for a much better day. And when I know that my hormones are a bit all over the place, that can be really, really helpful. So 95% of the time I'd say I make them myself, but sometimes I do buy them from the shop if I feel like it, and this is one that I favour. It's very, very nice. Now look, it's all well and good being healthy, but we all need a little bit of comfort, okay? And that comfort can come from food as well. Chocolate for me, and sweets, or not loads of sweets, but sweets that I really, really enjoy. They're really great to have when you're on your period. I know for me, I really like having Bourneville chocolate buttons, and I also really like Nomo dark chocolate. Both of those are dark chocolate actually, which is quite interesting. I obviously enjoy having dark chocolate on my period. I enjoy dark chocolate anyway, really, but I would say any form of chocolate button is a win when I'm on my period. I just find them really comforting. Yeah, it just works. Finally, this is something that is really, really important. It is your mental health on your period. For me personally, I have got a very, very active mind, which is often why I do so much within my day. It's why I'm interested in so much. It's why I'm constantly doing bits and bobs, because I get new ideas and I just want to do it. So when I'm on my period, sometimes my motivation can kind of waver a little bit because of my hormones and because I'm a little bit all over the place. So having something to focus your mind on is really, really important. And it doesn't have to be an overly physical or strenuous task. And I know for me, doing something like this, creating a YouTube video is actually really, really beneficial for me when I'm on my period, because I know that I can sit and I can talk to you guys, and I don't have to like run around the house like an idiot. I think right now all I want to do is like sit, drink tea and talk to you. So, you know, you just got to go with the flow a little bit. Recently I started reading Tap to Tidy by Stacey Solomon. Now I'm a really, really big fan of hers, and I've been waiting for this book to come out. I had it pre-ordered back in like January or something, and it came out very recently. The book is full of tips on organising and making things, and how to make things from like really everyday items that you might find in your house. It's really good if you're into like reducing the amount of waste you're getting rid of and upcycling things. I've taken so much inspiration from that book already, and I know that that will sort of be added to my period go-tos, because, you know, if I feel like doing something and maybe don't have any sense of direction on a day that I'm on my period, I can turn to this book and go, oh, that looks really cool, I'll make that. I can immerse myself in it. I can stop thinking about everything else for a bit, stop thinking about the pain that I've got, and I can just focus on that. So I would say any form of like mental stimulation during your period week, in whatever form that takes, is an absolute must. And that's it. That is my list of period go-tos. You know, there are other things as well, but I think generally those are the things that I always turn to. And you know, it's going to be different for everybody as well. Like, every woman's period is completely different, so they're all going to need slightly different things. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we need comfort, and we need things that will make our periods a little bit more bearable. I do hope that this video has given you a little bit of like just calm energy if you are on your period, or if you're like looking for ways to help yourself when you're on your period. If there's any products that I've mentioned, or any little go-tos that I've mentioned in this video that you want to check out, I've tried to link and list as many of them as I can in the description box as possible. And not all of them are available online, but just have a little search around and find something that works for you. There's loads and loads of options out there. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe on this video if you enjoyed. And until the next time, guys, I'm going to drink my tea and enjoy my day, and I hope you do too. Love you lots.